Hispanic Heritage is sponsored by Honda Dealers of the Carolinas and ECPI University.
Hispanic Heritage Month, a time to remember, honor, and celebrate the lives of those in the Hispanic community. Coming up, we'll take you through the history behind the historical month, plus the festivities being held throughout the Lowcountry to commemorate their cultures. But first,
she was determined to get that gold medal. She worked too hard for it. She got it.
A Lowcountry high school grad bringing home gold for Puerto Rico. We bring you on Jasmine Camacho Quinn's journey to the Tokyo Olympics. And later,
everything about her was symbolic.
Plus, the legacy of a Mexican painter lives on, how Frida Kahlo's artwork is inspiring others during a worldwide pandemic. All that and more starting right here on News 2's Hispanic Heritage Special. Welcome to News 2's Hispanic Heritage Special. From September 15th to October 15th, Americans celebrate the histories, cultures, and contributions of citizens whose ancestors came from Spain, Mexico, the Caribbean, and Central and South America. Now, we want to dig into how the National Month came to be. The observation started in 1968 as Hispanic Heritage Week under President Lyndon B. Johnson. It was then expanded to a 30-day period by President Ronald Reagan in 1988. The reason September 15th was chosen is because it's the anniversary of independence for Latin American countries Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua. Then Mexico and Chile celebrate their Independence Days on September 16th and September 18th. Also, Columbus Day, or Dia de la Raza, which is October 12th, follows within that 30-day period. And here in the Lowcountry, one organization is focused on building connections with the Hispanic community. I had the chance to speak with the group's organizers on why their work is so important and how they're working to make the Hispanic community feel more included in day-to-day life. Come Hispanic Heritage Month each year, you'll notice celebrations and ceremonies acknowledging the Hispanic community and celebrating culture and traditions. But for the other 11 months of the year, that attention can be few and far between. It's in those periods that the Charleston Hispanic Association, or CHA, is there for Spanish speakers that can often feel isolated.
We have a lot of Hispanics that come to Charleston and don't know exactly how to get used to the lifestyle here in the United States.
The group, which started when one woman asked her employer for help, offers support in all forms, hosting food drives up to 3 times a week, feeding up to 10,000 people a month, promoting vaccines, and organizing baby supply drives.
But with us, it's mostly about them trying to find a place to work or trying to get some kind of health care or trying to get help in that aspect as to get started.
But arguably, their most important role is building bridges between groups like the Charleston Police Department, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, and the FBI that often faces language barriers.
And the way that we help, for the most part, is by giving them information. They have to be well informed. And then once they have that information, they need to take advantage of that.
The group's vice president, Esteban Matayabas, said this past year highlighted the importance of multicultural connectivity. The Department of Health and Environmental Control looking to CHA for ways to connect with Spanish speakers.
DHEC obviously can cater to the English-speaking people, but they didn't have a way to really connect with the Hispanic community, and that's where we came in, and we started advertising, letting people know that, hey, you can come and get your vaccination.
Its work, organizers say, has snowballed in the past year. More and more people now looking to CHA to help them navigate life in the Lowcountry. Esteban, a proud Spaniard and longtime Charleston resident, says giving back to his community is indescribable. And we continue our series on Hispanic heritage across the area, focusing on an Olympian and Fort Dorchester graduate who brought gold home to the Lowcountry. News 2's Riley Benson covered Jasmine Camacho Quinn's run for gold for us and takes a look back at her journey.
Bringing gold home to the Lowcountry.
We knew she had it in her since this morning, and she was determined to get that gold medal. She worked too hard for it. She got it.
Jasmine Camacho Quinn broke records on her way to gold for her mother's native Puerto Rico, setting a record of 12.26 seconds in her 100-meter hurdle semifinals run and crossed the finish line with a time of 12.37 seconds to win the gold.
I told you she was ready. She gonna do her thing. Ecstatic, happy.
Camacho Quinn began her track career at Fort Dorchester High School before attending the University of Kentucky, where she won 3 NCAA championships. After clipping a hurdle in Rio de Janeiro, Camacho Quinn's parents, James and Maria, weren't sure she'd keep competing.
I know one time she was talking about quitting and wanted to give it up because I guess what happened at Rio. But she hung in there and swapped coaches and did a few changes.
Jasmine's parents say she went through a rotation of trainers and coaches before something clicked.
The coaches she picked up, she had liked, and it made a big difference. I can see the big difference in the way she's running right now.
Camacho Quinn became an internet sensation both locally and back in her mother's native Puerto Rico. My tweet from the family's watch party got more than 200,000 views, thousands of likes, and hundreds of retweets, many by those in Puerto Rico. In the moments after clinching the gold, it was hard for Jasmine's parents to put the experience into perspective.
I'm lost for words.
I'm lost. I'm lost.
I am lost for words.
Camacho Quinn's gold medal was the first one for the Puerto Rican women's track team during the 2020 Olympics. In Mount Pleasant, Raleigh Benson, Cal on 2.
And now we want to take a look at a few events being held in the Lowcountry to honor Hispanic Heritage Month. First, we begin with a live concert by Caja de Cuerdas. The Lowcountry Latin Band is performing at the Commodore in downtown Charleston tonight and next Saturday. The group will be accompanied by a special guest tonight. Charleston Mayor John Tecklenburg will be playing the piano. The concert will be held from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Tickets are $14 online and $17 at the door. And tomorrow, Charleston County Parks is hosting a Latin American festival. That event will be held from 12 to 5 p.m. at the North Charleston Wanamaker County Park. There will be various types of DJs playing, food, drinks, and souvenirs for all. Tickets are $10 for anyone 13 years or older. Kids under the age of 12 get in for free. There'll also be an on-site vaccination clinic for those who wish to get their COVID-19 vaccine. And coming up this Wednesday, MUSC Alliance for Hispanic Health is hosting a Hispanic Heritage Month celebration from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. People can come out to Dowdy Street in downtown Charleston to try different Latin food trucks and can also learn how to salsa, merengue, and listen to some tunes of reggaeton and bachata. And if you're looking for a relaxing night with the family or maybe a date night next Saturday, October 16th, the Charleston Hispanic Association is showing the new James Bond movie, No Time to Die, at 8 p.m. It'll be shown at Chaz location off of Savannah Highway in Charleston. Tickets are $10. If you wish to go, you are asked to call the number on your screen to buy those tickets. That number is 843-814-9191. And for a full list of details on all of the Hispanic Heritage Month events being held in the Lowcountry, you can go to our website, that's counton2.com, and search Hispanic Heritage. Still to come, artist Frida Kahlo's legacy lives on, how her determination through life and artwork has impacted lives during the pandemic, and what new art exhibit is coming soon to honor her life. But first, famous actress Sofia Vergara takes us through her journey to get the big stage and her piece of advice to those in the Hispanic community.
I think it's something very special to me because, of course, I am Latin, I am Hispanic. I think it's very important that we take the time to celebrate, to embrace it, and to, make other people notice how great of a culture the Hispanic culture is. My journey has been long, I guess, because I'm gonna be almost 50 years old and I've been working since I was 17. I've had a great career. It's been a lot of work. It's been a lot of getting support from the people around me. I'm very thankful for the help that my family has been able to give to me with my son, with my career. And I think one of the great things about coming from a Latin family, we need to support each other. It comes as second nature. They're always there unconditionally. Sometimes actually they're there a little too much. I think something important that the Latin people have is the passion that we have with, everything we do, also with our family, the way we support each other, with our friends. When we love our job, we do it, till the end. A lot of doors have been opened that we didn't have before. For example, me being able to be in a show like Modern Family for 11 years, even with the way I sound, and then go from Modern Family to a show as amazing as AGT. And I think little by little, it's getting better and better. What we need is people to create content for us Latins so that we can have those Latin actors come and do, their work. I love being part of the Latinos here in the United States.
Welcome back to News 2's Hispanic Heritage Special. She's become a cultural icon around the world, a champion who overcame great adversity. We take a closer look at Mexican artist Frida Kahlo. Here's Vicki Thomas.
It's a face that's recognizable worldwide, the captivating look and the eyebrows that turn heads. Frida Kahlo's image is symbolic of a strong woman whose self-portraits are some of Mexico's national treasures.
The more you study her, the more you realize how everything about her was symbolic.
And for the last few months, that symbolism drew at least 100,000 people to Illinois' College of DuPage.
In 3 months, from around the world in a pandemic.
All for a chance to walk along the walls that line her work. Overseeing that collection, Diana Martinez. She spent the last 4 years studying every piece of Kahlo.
She was very bright. She read and wrote in English, German, Spanish, French. She was very well read. I think Frida was so ahead of her time, in terms of women's rights and believing in yourself.
She says Frida may be today's original selfie queen, but her work goes back to the 20s and 30s.
She was doing hand-painted selfies in her most vulnerable moments. And she showed herself when she miscarried a child. She showed herself suffering after a surgery that went wrong. She showed her pain.
That pain meant 30 surgeries, a major accident at the age of 18, and a battle with polio as a child. It's those stories of survival and resilience that have resonated with generations, a cultural icon in her home country and abroad.
My bucket list is to really see as many Frida works as I can.
I think it's her style that really draws people to it, because her self-portraits are just so stunning that it's hard not to be drawn to them.
Which is why in Chicago's Pilsen community, the National Museum of Mexican Art is prepping for a Frida exhibit of its own next year.
The public cannot get enough of Frida. One of the exhibitions is traveling from her home museum, Casa Azul, in Mexico City. There are photographs that she collected throughout her life.
With so much Illinois love for Frida, here's a question that many are trying to answer. Did Frida Kahlo ever make a stop in Chicago?
We suspect that at some point before she got to Detroit, they got off that train at the major hub known as Chicago, and perhaps they spent a night or two here.
They loved to travel. Frida loved to go visit and go see. So there's no question in my mind that she made it to Chicago.
But there's no tangible proof of that, though. We know her husband, Diego Rivera, painted 27 murals at the Detroit Art Institute back in 1932, and Frida was with him. In that time, they struck up a friendship with dance legend and Illinois native Katherine Dunham.
She is like the grandmother of African dance, right? She lived in Glen Ellen. She was born in Glen Ellen, the town that is here. And when we figured that huge string out, we were like, are you kidding that they were friends and they met?
It's those tiny clues that continue to add on to the Frida Kahlo story, a Mexican icon transcending generations and borders.
I think in this time after the pandemic and what our country's gone through, she's just a great inspiration to keep moving forward.
Coming up, Hispanic women leaving their mark. The first ever Latino woman is co-owning a Major League Baseball franchise. Hear her story and how she's able to handle adversity she's faced in a male-dominated field. But first, a quick word from actor John Huertas and how he got started in his career and how he was able to score the role in the hit NBC series This Is Us.
think celebrating the culture, for me, the reason why it's important, here's a month where you're encouraged to understand what the history is, truthfully. Look at our history, look at your family history. I think that's very important for any group of people, any ethnic background, to just understand, because once you understand where you come from, then you can plan on where you want to go. One of the most important people that, to me, the reason I'm probably a professional actor, was Woody Harrelson. And I met Woody Harrelson at a bar. Someone introduced me to him and said, John's an actor too. And I was adamant about saying, man, I'm not an actor like you. And he stopped me and he said, look, man, if an like me can do it, you can do it. I think the representation on screen is important so that we can show the world what the world looks like. Hollywood has always told us what people look like, what they sound like. The good cowboy wears the white hat, the bad cowboy wears the black hat. So Hollywood has been profiling for years, and I think it's up to us to undo that. So I think we just need to keep moving the needle forward. That's why I think it's important that This Is Us included a character like Miguel, who represents the Latinx community in a very positive way. And I hope that they continue it and continue to push it even harder and farther.
An entrepreneur is not only defined as a business operator, but someone taking on greater than normal financial risk to do so. For Linda Alvarado, she not only gambled on success and jumping into careers dominated by men, but also as a Latina. David Romero has her story.
From designer, development, and owner of a large commercial construction company to becoming the first Hispanic female owner of a Major League Baseball franchise, Linda Alvarado has never let boundaries get in her way.
All of my life I've been told I don't look the part. I don't look like a commercial general contractor. I don't look like an owner of a Major League Baseball team. And some people say I don't look Hispanic.
For the young girl born and raised in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and growing up in a family of 5 brothers, Linda had to prove there was no such thing as a woman's job.
They didn't let us be identified either by our gender or ethnicity. So I played sports from the time I could walk, wrestled, and did all kinds of things with my brothers, and my mother encouraged it.
Working her way through college, it was the challenge of starting her own construction firm which set Linda on a path to her first major accomplishment.
I got this crazy idea of starting my own business, which was really crazy. A Hispanic girl contractor. But I wanted to pursue this and started small.
What started small in 1976 became one of the biggest construction companies in the Southwest and made Linda the first female CEO to head a construction firm. Alvarado Construction Incorporated is responsible for large multi-million-dollar commercial developments like Bronco Stadium. The company, based in Denver, Colorado, now has offices in New Mexico, Arizona, and California. That still wasn't enough.
It was a very small group of guys and one girl. But the difference was, this is the first time that any Latino had been involved in a bid for Major League Baseball. And who would have thought the first Latino owner would be a Latina?
Linda became co-owner of the brand new Colorado Rockies Major League Baseball team. In her time with the team, Linda felt that the moment was right to help set better examples for Hispanics.
Well, it's proud to be an owner. I want to make certain that our players on the field are looked at as role models and motivating other Hispanics to say, wherever they choose to go.
Although her achievements have been stellar, Linda says that early on, she fought sexism and discrimination at almost every turn in a life and career that has not only broken glass ceilings and paving the way for others after her. Linda still believes that had she not taken any risks in her life, she wouldn't be where she is today.
We have to get in the game, have some fun, take some risks, knowing that we could never get to second base if we keep our foot safely on first.
For Hispanic Heritage, I'm David Romero.
Check this out. Barbie is also celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month by adding 2 new dolls that celebrate the lives and legacies of Celia Cruz and Julia Alvarez. Celia Cruz was a Cuban-American singer whose career spanned 6 decades. Cruz, internationally known as the Queen of Salsa, was a pioneer of Afro-Latinidad. She recorded more than 80 albums and songs, earned 23 gold records and 5 Grammys. She died in 2003 after a battle with brain cancer. Alvarez is a Dominican-American poet, novelist, and activist. She's regarded as one of the most successful and influential Latina writers today. When asked about her reaction to becoming a Barbie, she said in part, "I hope this can encourage young Latinas to share their gifts with the world." That is all the time we have for this Hispanic Heritage Special. We appreciate you joining us this Saturday morning. Be sure to check out all the events happening the rest of this month around the Lowcountry to honor Hispanic community. Once again, you can find all of those events on our website. That's counton2.com.